Okay, JD, enjoyed getting to work with you. Thanks again for your help this past weekend, and good practice for senior leadership, and just a great opportunity for you in that regards. Also, another good opportunity. Let's take a look at a couple of the things. Obviously, our hitting mechanics, as you'll grow more familiar with, have 5 phases. Starting stance, the trigger or load is phase 2. Starting stance is 1. Trigger or load is phase 2. The halfway point of the swing is phase 3. We don't address that in this particular clip. Phase 4 is at contact, and phase 5 is at the finish. Probably spend more time on phase 3. We didn't need to do that right now with your clip. And want to go back and going left to right, just a couple things that we're going to want to do. Under the header of phase 2, you're going to look, phase 2 should always have the front side foot closed. And the front side foot should not begin to open until after the hands have entered the contact zone. And at that point, you're keeping it nice and tight there, allowing the torque of the hips to then begin to move as you move from phase 3 into phase 4, and you've compressed and concentrated the hip and explosion of that rotation from 3 into 4 max. But when you have a front side foot opening up, it's as if it causes a leak in the boat, or a leak in a gallon of milk where the milk's kind of dripping out. And the same is true for the power that you have in the swing. And if you're opening up prior to phase 3, if you reference the documentation that I gave this weekend, the picture of Hunter, the player, has him paused in a phase 3 position. So if you reference that document, in phase 2, that front side toe for him and you would be pointing right directly at us as we view the video. And it's not until after your, again, hands have cleared through the midline of your body, going to the contact point out front, that the front side foot then can begin to rotate open. And the front side foot is going to create a more challenging angle of a low to high sometimes, making it difficult for us to get the upper part of the strike zone. And if we do, we typically are popping it up. So that's something that we're going to be able to do by closing you up, is we're going to be able to give you a little bit more power. And here's how I know that. Go over to the phase 4 clip. And this is right at contact. The ball is actually on the bat right there. You're right now right on contact. You can see the end of the bat. You've got a good head down, good V formation, a lot of good things here. But the one thing I would say to you, that ball is out over the plate a little bit, and you've kept your hands inside it really good. You do a lot of great things. But I want you to notice that the backside foot, the arrow, the yellow arrow, has the shoestrings pointing almost up the first base line in the foul territory. So at the point of contact, your shoestrings are not exactly where they need to be to really have transferred the power the way we like to see it. And that would be a position that has the shoestrings totally turned forward as indicated by the red arrow. And so what we've got to do is we've got to obviously have that backside pivot come against the closed front side foot. Now what's happened is that when you open up like you did in phase 2, it actually kind of begins the process of allowing your hips to open. So there's really not that much use, or more so a limited use of the backside pivot. The backside pivot is what the whole apparatus rotates on, because you go from the backside foot up the calf, up the thigh, the quad, the hips, and the abs. That's the little axis point in which the hips are going to rotate. And so if you've got good hip rotation and it's exploding against the closed front side, you're going to have some pop. But if you've opened up and you have actually done so in this clip, then it precludes or limits the need to have maximum backside pivot. And that's what we're seeing here. So that little front side foot movement is really keeping you probably from getting an extra 15 to 20 foot carry on the ball and hitting that thing hard and on plane, because you do a lot of things right. So we want to work on closing the front side foot and maxing that backside pivot, and particularly in the high T drill. So I hope that's going to be a help to you.